This is News 8 Now this morning.
Music is a lifelong endeavor, and I think it's great that our alumni band's here today too, so the students can see that they can keep music in their life forever. There's not a time limit.
The most important thing is it kind of shows people that you can follow your passions. Like, it shows the students that there are things you can do with art, and there are things that you can continue your lives with, and also just allows students to be more connected to the community they're in.
The arts and the positivity that it brings and how it uplifts people and encourages children, especially, our future, to just be bold and daring and brave and, do this with me.
What makes our trunk and treat different is that we have awesome cars that are just tripped out, older vehicles, things like that.
That is a preview of what we've got coming up for you here on News 8 Now this morning. I'm Jordan Frebstead.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is October 24th, 2022. And Derek, apart from the Packers, the weather was fine.
Yeah, the weather was fine. Hey, at least my Dolphins won. Yes, finally a Victory Monday for me. You'll get your Victory Monday soon, Jordan. Promise. It will come. It'll come. Still plenty of season left.
It's been about 3 weeks, so I'm itching for one.
It'll come. It'll come. Hey, yeah, like you said, the weather was nice here over the weekend, Jordan. We saw lots of warm temperatures, but the clouds are starting to increase now across the area, and a couple of light spotty showers here being observed on the radar here as well. Current temperature readings, well, we got the 60s, and it's pretty close to 70 degrees in some spots like La Crosse, and also in Eau Claire, you're at 67. Sparta's at 66 degrees here this morning. Overall, about 5 to 10 degrees of a warmer difference here as well as you step out the door getting ready for that morning commute. Cloudy weather will continue through the late morning hours. Luckily for that morning commute, it's not going to be wet. We don't expect it to turn rainy here until we get into the afternoon hours. There you can see those rain chances picking up, especially just after 1 o'clock today, and temperatures will be well into the 70s before dropping into the 60s here later this afternoon into the early evening. I'll be back with a check on the full weather forecast in just a bit.
Looking forward to that. Thanks a lot, Derek. Police arrest a Holman woman after she fired several rounds from a gun at a hotel Sunday night. Officers were called to the Prairie Inn and Suites parking lot after learning of a disturbance. No one was injured. Officers arrested 40-year-old Shanda Vandeslunt. Vandeslunt admitted to firing the gun and was booked into La Crosse County Jail for first-degree recklessly endangering safety, operating a firearm while intoxicated, and disorderly conduct. One person is injured after a gas pump fire at a Holman Quick Trip on Saturday. Holman Police Captain Frank Garrow told News 8 Now when responders arrived at the Quick Trip, the car and pump were fully engulfed. The cause of that fire is still unknown and is under investigation. Tri-State Ambulance took the injured person to a hospital. La Crosse, Onalaska, and Holman fire departments all responded to the fire. The Quick Trip store has been reopened, but the gas pumps are off. Music to your ears. UW La Crosse's Screaming Eagles Marching Band celebrated the past, present, and future over the weekend at the 10th Annual High School Band Day. Over 300 high school musicians from 11 local high schools got together to perform, plus the UW Alumni Band joined in on the musical fun. Organizers say having the Alumni Band perform will encourage students to pursue music well after they graduate.
Music is a lifelong endeavor, and I think it's great that our alumni band's here today too, so the students can see that they can keep music in their life forever. There's not a time limit.
The bands played plenty of hits, including on the track list were songs by Ariana Grande, Nicki Minaj, and Korean pop band BTS. Pumpkins are everywhere. The Holman Area Community Center had its inaugural Pumpkin Fest on Saturday to help get area families and businesses into the Halloween spirit. Businesses and kids alike were asked to decorate pumpkins to help support businesses. Families got to go trick-or-treating, and costumes were highly encouraged.
It's just such a great opportunity for younger generations to kind of come together with older generations, which is really what we stand for at the Holman Area Community Center. So this is just really encouraging and very neat to see.
More than 300 pumpkins were decorated this year. Just a state away, an Illinois kid is going all out for Halloween, and it's for a good cause. Anthony Alfano has pulled off plenty of creative costumes over the years, which have gotten national attention. He's been a judge on Dancing with the Stars, Cameron from Ferris Bueller, and Blue Man Group, and plenty more. This year, he is Bone Organ from the movie Goonies, and Anthony's family says it's a special tradition.
This is what we do it for. All this excitement with the kids and everything is what we do it for. And for Anthony, because look at how happy he is.
The Alfanos have donated 2 of Anthony's costumes to families with children in wheelchairs. Their love and creativity is spreading joy to others. We are just about a week away from Halloween, and all kinds of events are well underway. Lacrosse families got to trunk or treat at the Harry J. Olson Senior Center over the weekend. Kids went from classic car to classic car for candy, and those cars mostly came from the Driftless Region Modified Car Group. Kids also got the chance to meet the Miss Midwest USA Ambassador for 2022. Jessie Liasso says their trunk or treat event is a little different.
What makes our trunk and treat different is that we have awesome cars that are just tripped out, older vehicles, things like that.
Liasso says trunk or treat is a safer way for area children to take part in Halloween fun. In more Halloween news this morning, Riverside Park opened up its 22nd annual Enchanted Forest for some not so spooky fun. From a trick-or-treating nature walk to meeting characters and of course lots of candy, over 22 businesses from across the Coulee region participated.
Anytime that our community is coming together and connecting, that's a positive thing. That's something that Scouting is big on, is trying to get our kids and families connected to the community so that we're aware of all the resources that are out there and all the different people that make this a great place to be.
The Gateway Scouts are also taking donations to help with future events. We have posted a link at news8000.com. It was Thriller Night for a group of La Crescent dancers. Dancers of all experience levels and backgrounds got a special chance to dress up as zombies while dancing to the classic 80s tune Thriller by Michael Jackson. After weeks of practice, the La Crescent community got a chance to enjoy their performance on Sunday. According to organizer Megan Waddell, it's all about having fun and sharing an art.
The arts and the positivity that it brings and how it uplifts people and encourages children, especially, our future, to just be bold and daring and brave and, do this with me.
This was the 4th year, and Waddell says the energy of the performers was contagious. There were 42 dancing zombies this year, and she says this was the biggest crowd yet. The City of La Crosse wants your help to make yard cleanup a breeze this fall season. Leaf collection in the City of La Crosse begins today and runs until November 18th. All you need to do is put leaves out on the boulevard, but not in the street. Teams will be working across the city to collect all of those leaves. The teams also ask that you do not pile the leaves around trees, poles, or parked cars. Leaf collection will not interfere with your garbage and recycling. Still to come on your Monday morning news, the IRS announced one of its largest increases in decades to aid retirement plans, allowing workers access to save more. We'll explain just ahead. And Halloween is just 1 week away. Consumers are ready to go big with this year's popular costumes. We'll have more on how inflation is affecting those prices. Before we do, we are sending you to break with something to put the good in your Monday morning. Feeling lucky this morning? Well, Powerball's jackpot is now up to $610 million. It is the 8th largest jackpot in Powerball's 30-year history. The Powerball jackpot crossed the $600 million mark after no ticket matched all 6 numbers drawn Saturday night. The $610 million prize has a cash value of about $292 million. Only $292 million, The next drawing is set for today at 10 p.m. and you can't win if you don't buy a ticket. It is 9 after the hour. Your latest forecast is just ahead here on News 8 Now this morning.
That was a quiet look there from City Cam 8, but lots of cloudy skies continue to move in across the Coulee region from the south and west. About a 5 to 10 degrees of a warmer difference here this morning compared to just the last 24 hours, as our current temperatures are now into those mid to upper 60s. 68 degrees in La Crosse and 67 degrees to the north in Eau Claire. Your zone forecast today also looks pretty warm, but also very wet here in La Crosse County today, as we are expecting quite a bit of downpours here, especially this afternoon, with temperatures well into the 70s across our south south zones as well. Soldiers Grove, you'll be at 74. Meanwhile, Sparta at 72, and pretty rainy here this afternoon as well. Very heavy rain here possible across our north zones too. In Eau Claire, looking at 71 degrees here. For your schoolcast this morning, mainly cloudy, 68 degrees. Don't really have to worry about the rain yet until around maybe the lunch hour, but especially around dismissal. Pack that umbrella here with you. 72 degrees will be the temperature. I'll be back with a check on the weather forecast still to come.
Starting next year, your retirement savings plans could get a boost. The Internal Revenue Service says it will raise the amount of money workers will be allowed to put into their 401ks by $2,000 in 2023, mainly due to inflation. The IRS is also upping the limit for IRA contributions by $500. 2 Disney annual pass holders are suing Orlando's Disney World over its pandemic-era reservation system. They say the system put into place during the height of the pandemic to limit crowds violates their contract for unlimited access to the theme parks. Disney responded saying it was upfront about the changes and offered pass holders the opportunity to option out of the program. Fans of the popular Netflix shows like Stranger Things, Squid Game, and Bridgerton can now get a fully immersive experience at a Netflix pop-up store in Los Angeles. The store features merchandise from those series and is expected to add holiday items in the coming weeks. The Los Angeles location will remain open through January 6th of next year. Americans are expected to spend big on Halloween, and the most they've seen since before the pandemic. Michael George tells us how inflation is affecting prices.
For the last 2 years, Kelly Ryder hasn't been able to celebrate Halloween the way she wanted to because of the pandemic. But this year, she's making up for lost time. Are you going big on Halloween this year?
Really going big. We're doing a lot of different neighborhood festivals. The kids are all going to get dressed up. We're doing trick-or-treating, the whole 9 yards.
The National Retail Federation predicts Halloween shopping this year will return to pre-pandemic levels, with Americans spending an estimated $10.6 billion on costumes, candy, and decorations. But this year it will all cost more due to inflation. Candy alone is up 13%.
We're all in, and I think people just want to have fun again.
Julie Rame, Chief Marketing Officer for Party City, says they're not seeing the supply chain issues that impacted the holiday last year. So there should be plenty of Spider-Man outfits, which is expected to be the year's top costume, and others are flying off the shelf.
Encanto was a smash hit. That's a really big one as well. We have Top Gun 2. My favorite, the Sanderson sisters, get together with a couple girlfriends, do the hocus pocus thing.
Another growing trend, pet costumes. Americans are expected to spend $700 million on dog and cat costumes. For Kelly, it's all money well spent.
Everything is more expensive.
But still worth doing?
Yeah, of course.
For her first real Halloween in 3 years.
The National Retail Federation said the average family with kids is expected to spend nearly $150 on Halloween-related items.
Mainly cloudy skies here in La Crosse, 68 degrees, south winds at 15 miles an hour. And if you're in Eau Claire, you're also looking at around 67 degrees, south winds at around 17 miles an hour, so a bit of a breeze to work with here too. And about 5 to 10 degrees of a warmer difference here this morning as you head outside the door. Some places even looking at a warmer difference compared to the last 24 hours as temperatures are mainly into those mid to upper 60s. We got 68 degrees in Winona and 66 now in Sparta this morning, with forecast high temperatures today expected to reach the 70s yet again. So another very warm day expected across the Coulee region, with a couple of showers here becoming likely around noon today, but rain more than likely around 4 and also into 8 o'clock this evening as well. We'll talk about that in a second. But as of right now, though, not looking at any rain here, but looking at mainly cloudy weather that continues to move in from the south. And that's all associated with this very strong but broad low pressure system to our west, containing a cold front here to our west as well. And you can see that south wind pulling in a lot of moisture here from the south here too. And that's really going to be the focal point too as that low to the west begins to move towards the east. You can see it bringing us that front, and along with that south wind containing the moisture transport with it as well. And we do expect some heavy showers to move in as that front continues to move in later this afternoon. Some of these could contain some locally heavy downpours as well during the late afternoon to early evening hours. hours before everything begins to come to a close, especially more so as we head towards the overnight hours. A couple of light showers possible, but mainly cloudy weather here late tonight, and then that will continue into tomorrow afternoon as well with those cloudy weather conditions. So it's really not until about Wednesday where we start to see some clearing of the skies, because an area of high pressure to the west will develop and move east across the upper Midwest to give us some less clouds and a little bit more sunshine here to work with. But as far as how much rain we could see across the Coulee region, we are expecting totals to be just about a ½ inch to just under an inch of rain. Locally heavier amounts are possible in some of those heavier showers that will move through. Notice the temperatures also will begin to drop behind the cold front moving in today. We go from 74 today to 55 tomorrow, and highs in the 50s will last us at least through Friday, with lows into the 30s and 40s. Stay tuned though, we're back with much more news and weather still to come right here on News 8 Now this morning. But we're taking a quick break. Here's a look at what happened on this day in history. We'll be right back. Cloudy conditions continue to move through the Coulee region now as we speak, and a couple of light showers underneath some of those thicker clouds are possible, with temperatures mainly into those mid to upper 60s now across the Coulee region. Dog walking conditions this morning look pretty good, but we'll be looking wet here by the afternoon, and especially as we head into the early evening hours. Now, as far as your mowing forecasts go for today, things look cloudy here now and also around 11 o'clock. Some showers are likely around 3 with temperatures at around 74 degrees. So make sure to do any type of mowing here before the rain here arrives later this afternoon. I'll be back with another check on before the forecast still to come.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. I'm sure most of you already know the Green Bay Packers lost their 3rd straight game and fell to 3-4 on the season. They were on the road in D.C. against the Commanders, a team they should have beat. The offense looks lost. It almost seems like they have no real game plan. And in case you didn't see the game, let me show you. First drive, they looked good. It looked like they had a game plan with the quick pass to Allen Lazard here. And then after he goes down inside the 5, a well-designed pass play to Aaron Jones, who fights his way in for the score to give the Pack a 7-0 lead. Now later in the quarter, another Green Bay special teams miscue. Commanders punting it away. Amari Rodgers set to return it, and that goes right through his hands. Washington recovers and takes over inside the 20. Packers defense held them to a field goal, but still a big mistake. Next drive, Packers facing a 3rd and 13, and Rodgers with a bad throw to Jones. He doesn't get the first down. Packers forced to punt. Next drive, Packers looking for a stop, and they're going to get more than that. Devondre Campbell just jumps the route, takes the ball away, and once he got up to speed, nobody was going to stop him. A pick 6 for Green Bay. They take a 14-3 lead. Washington would respond with a long drive capped off by a Taylor Heineke touchdown pass to Antonio Gibson, and later another 3rd and long for Green Bay. They try the swing pass again. Jones can't catch it, and Packers would go into half with a 4-point lead. Start of the second half, Washington's going to take a shot at the end zone. Heineke finding Terry McLaurin for the 37-yard touchdown pass. Jared Alexander got beat, and now the Packers are down 3. Green Bay needing an answer. 3rd down again. Rodgers finds Romeo Dubes, but he can't hold on to the ball, and Green Bay forced to punt again. Packers now trailing by 6, facing a 4th and 1. Rodgers has Dubes again, but Dubes can't hold on, and Green Bay turns it over on downs. Washington would end up with another field goal, but that makes it a 2-score game with 7 minutes left. Green Bay on the 21. Rodgers dropping back, can't find a guy until he has Aaron Jones running up the sideline, and he hits him for the touchdown. Green Bay now down 2. Packers still with a chance. They just need a stop. Heineke throws it up, and McLaurin goes up and gets it for the first down. Packers had a desperation play at the end, but it came up a little short. Green Bay was 0-6 on 3rd downs. First time they didn't have a 3rd down conversion since 1999. They also had just 12 rushes, their lowest amount in a game this season. And it doesn't get any easier for them. They're on the road for Sunday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills next week. And be sure to send your best wishes to Jordan. I know he's taking this loss pretty hard. That's all for the Morning Blitz. Have a nice day.
Breaking overnight, former Prime Minister Boris Johnson of Britain has ruled out on taking another shot at running for Prime Minister after intense speculation that Johnson would run to replace Liz Truss, who stepped down last week after her tax-cutting economic package caused turmoil in the financial markets. Johnson released a statement Sunday evening confirming that he would not be running. The owner of the fitness chain Gold's Gym and 5 other people are feared dead after a plane crash off Costa Rica's Caribbean coast. The Costa Rican officials said the remains of an aircraft were found early Saturday morning, confirming that 2 people have already been found dead, but their identities have not yet been revealed. A Korean Airlines jet with 173 people on board overshot the runway in the Philippines late on Sunday. The airline said there was no injuries and all passengers had evacuated safely. Videos from the scene on social media showed widespread damage to the plane, with the nose landing gear appearing to have collapsed. Another Northwest Iowa school district voted to allow some staff members to carry weapons on campus. While many were there to support guns in schools, many in attendance were not.
No one wants guns in school, but we want a bad guy with a gun even less. And the board has really taken a very measured and serious approach to the challenge of protecting students, keeping students safe, and staff.
The district says experts will determine what kind of weapons will be allowed on school property, and the district will then buy them for the approved staff members. At this time, there is no time frame on when that process will finish up. A criminal trial against the Trump Organization is scheduled to begin today. It is accused of tax fraud schemes spanning about 15 years. Amy Kiley previews the case before the New York State Supreme Court.
Jury selection is set to begin today in the trial of former President Donald Trump's real estate company. The Trump Organization is charged with an alleged tax fraud scheme that involved paying executives off the books.
A company can't go to jail, but this can be very, very problematic for his company.
Trump's longtime CFO is expected to be the star witness. Alan Weisselberg pleaded guilty to 15 related felony counts in August. Those pleas and his testimony are in return for a lighter sentence. As for Trump himself,
he is not personally charged. I don't expect that that's going to change, although it obviously could.
That criminal trial is separate from the New York Attorney General's civil lawsuit. She's suing Trump, his company, and his 3 oldest children. That's for allegedly misrepresenting assets to get favorable loan rates and tax benefits. And those aren't Trump's only legal problems. A leader of the January 6 House Select Committee is giving new details about how he might testify before the panel.
It may take multiple days. And it will be done with a level of rigor and discipline and seriousness that it deserves.
Representative Liz Cheney says Trump's testimony would not be televised.
He's not going to turn this into a circus. This is far too serious set of issues.
Amy Kiley, News 8 Now.
It is unclear if Trump will appear before the House Select Committee. He responded to its subpoena by calling the investigation a witch hunt, but he didn't say whether he would comply with the subpoena. Trump could fight it in court, and that battle could outlast the committee. The November election is just 2 weeks away from this Tuesday, which means campaign volunteers are kicking off their Get Out the Vote efforts into high gear. And that started this weekend as Governor Evers stopped by a group that knocks on doors in Madison. For Governor Evers, Saturday was about rallying the troops ahead of the November election.
Our last shift for this period will end at 8 p.m. when the polls close on November 8th. We don't quit. When we get together, we just feed off each other. We have great enthusiasm. We believe so dearly in what we're doing.
For Evers, he says the election is about different plans for the state. His opponent, Tim Michels, floated a plan this week to split up the state's Department of Natural Resources. The election will be close. The polls continue to show Evers and Michels running neck and neck. Despite a nationwide effort to stop opioid abuse, overdose deaths continue to rise, with more than 100,000 annually. Michael George spoke to addiction specialists and people going through recovery to talk about new approaches to end the crisis.
Stephen Bell's struggle with addiction started when he was prescribed OxyContin after a surgery. When he was introduced to fentanyl, he nearly lost his life.
Only takes a very little bit to kill you, you know, and I've experienced overdoses myself with it because it's very strong.
Stephen is alive thanks to the overdose reversing medication Narcan, also known as naloxone. He's now in treatment at the Camelot Substance Abuse Program on Staten Island.
I didn't know how to stop, so I definitely had to go away to treatment to have somebody to help me stop.
Fentanyl is everywhere, in everything.
Camelot CEO Carl Farron says he's seeing the crisis get worse, not better. The CDC says 107,000 Americans died of overdoses in 2021, up 15% from the year before. And 2/3 of those deaths are linked to fentanyl and similar synthetic opioids. More communities are trying a new approach, making Narcan available in public places, like a free vending machine at this church in Austin. And last month, the LA Unified School District gave every middle and high school Narcan after 7 student overdoses in a month, including 15-year-old Melanie Ramos.
Offering that is definitely a plus. It's a very simple tool, I think, to assist on the streets, on the ground level.
Farron also says there's a desperate need for more substance abuse counselors and social workers.
There's just not enough to go around to really serve the population. It's been underfunded, underpaid.
A national commitment needed.
It definitely needs to be addressed more and looked at more, definitely, yeah.
To stop a growing epidemic.
You can learn how to use Narcan to stop an overdose for free. There's a training video you can check out on the CDC's website. Speaking of overdoses, the Drug Enforcement Administration is warning the public about brightly colored fentanyl being circulated throughout the United States. Last week, a man was arrested carrying the drug in candy packaging. Rainbow fentanyl pills come in a variety of bright colors, shapes, and sizes. Governor Tim Walz joined Deed Commissioner Steve Grove and business owners at a small business in St. Paul on Friday to announce that Minnesota has secured funding to help small businesses grow and thrive.
You're going to hear from partners who are banking in the community, the folks that are investing in this corridor, folks that understand what it's going to take to grow this economy. Fits the theme that we've been talking about, creating an economy in Minnesota that works for everyone.
This announcement comes after a summer of record low unemployment rates and a focus on economic expansion across the state. Helping foster kids, one cup of lemonade at a time. Kaya Poff, an 8-year-old La Crosse kid, wanted to help foster kids. She did it all with lemonade and an Amazon wish list. Kaya focuses her efforts on helping Black, Latino, and biracial children. It all started with a lemonade stand this summer and turned into a wish list with all kinds of gifts for kids. Kaya and her mom, Kate, are using this as an opportunity to spread positivity.
Be kind to everyone around you so it will spread and hopefully make the world a better place.
Now, some of the items she got for those kids included dolls, sleep caps, and books. Kaya and her mom are planning to meet with a social worker later this week to drop off those donations. It was all hooves on deck in DeSoto over the weekend. The American Standard Bread Adoption Program held their second annual chili cook-off and walk-through. Now, this year's event had new additions, including new sponsors and new items for their silent auction. The organization is geared toward helping non-racing standardbred horses find new homes.
We just do it out of love for the animals and also for the children and some adults in the community that come out and have equine-assisted learning activities.
Okay. The program is accepting donations both online and by mail. We have links to both and how you can help out at news8000.com. Area Crafters united at Logan High School for the 33rd annual Logan High School Fall Craft Show. Over 150 vendors showed up with handmade jewelry, clothes, and even handmade spices. This craft show focuses on helping small artists from the region get a head start. According to students, it can also boost these artists' confidence.
I think one of the most important things is it kind of shows people that you can follow your passions. It shows the students that there are things that you can do with art and there are things that you can continue your lives with, and also just allow students to be more connected to the community they're in.
Now, proceeds from the craft show will help fund college scholarships for Logan students after they graduate.
Very cloudy weather conditions continue to move in across the Coulee region from the south, and a couple of light spotty showers here being observed as well. Got a couple of temperatures well into those upper 60s, like La Crosse at 68 degrees and Eau Claire's at 67, Sparta's at 66 degrees and Viroqua at 63. Winona's checking in now with a temperature of 68. Overall, 5 to 10 degrees of a warmer difference compared to those last 24 hours, and much warmer readings in Black River Falls, nearly 20 degrees warmer. Lots of rain showers for today, 74 degrees, and south winds at around 15 to 25 miles an hour, making it pretty breezy. For tonight, rain showers mainly early before turning cloudy throughout the rest of the night, 42 degrees with light west-northwest winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. So for your drivecast this morning, looking cloudy, and then showers here become likely around the lunch hour, but especially more so towards the evening time frame during that evening commute back. I'll have a check on that on the full weather forecast, and we'll dive in that more in detail. Jordan?
Thanks a lot, Derek. Taylor Swift's latest album sets a new streaming standard. We're going to tell you what she did coming up in our Buzz Report after the break.
Pretty cloudy now across the Coulee region. Temperatures at 68 degrees in La Crosse with a bit of a south wind at 15 miles an hour. River Stage is at 5.33 feet. In Eau Claire, we're at 67 degrees. South winds a bit breezy here as well, 17 miles an hour too. Temperature changes here over the last 24 hours. You'll notice it as you step outside the door, at least by about 5 to 10 degrees, if not warmer. In some spots like Black River Falls, you're about 17 degrees warmer here this morning. And that's because all across the Coulee region, we got current temperature readings mainly into the mid to upper 60s here this morning, with our high temperatures expected to reach the low to mid 70s yet again here this afternoon. It is going to be yet another very warm day across the Coulee region. And on top of that, we're also expecting some rain starting around noon today, but more likely between 5 and well into the evening hours, as rain showers will develop and spread east across the Coulee region here today. Right now, we're looking at some cloudy weather that continues to pull in from the south and west. A couple of light spotty showers, but overall things though are just looking downright overcast. Out ahead of this trough of low pressure that does contain a cold front here as well, and we are expecting a lot of moisture here out ahead of the system to be approaching us here from the west, and that is really going to cause some wet concerns here across the area as the system continues to move east. You can see a couple of spotty showers start there again as early as around noon today, but more so around the 5 o'clock hour once that front continues to move toward the east, and a lot of that moisture transport arrives from the south. That ahead of that front, we will be looking at lots of rain here starting around 5 and then continues into the early evening hours, and some locally heavy downpours are possible too as a system continues to move towards the east. Now by overnight tonight, most of that rain should come to a close. A couple of spotty showers are possible, but overall mainly late tonight expect some cloudy weather and mostly cloudy weather conditions in store once again for tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. It's really not until Wednesday where we have this high pressure system to the west develop, and as that system takes over and moves towards the east, we will expect some sunnier and overall some drier conditions here throughout the rest of this week. Now rainfall totals with the system moving in today between about a half an inch to just under an inch of rain here in many locations, but there could be some spots where we could be looking at some isolated higher totals, especially with some of those showers that could move through. Now as far as your next as far as your 8-day forecast is concerned, again very dry here starting tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week. High temperatures drop into the 50s starting tomorrow and then continue throughout most of this week here as well, with lows into the 30s and 40s.
In our Buzz Report this morning, Taylor Swift continues to shatter records. The singer released her 10th studio album, Midnights, on Friday, and the collection became the most streamed album in a single day on Spotify. Swift also became the most streamed artist in one day in the streaming platform's history. Drake has new music on the way. He will release a collaborative album with fellow rapper 21 Savage. The pair announced the news in a music video for their hit song Jimmy Cooks. The collection is titled Her Loss and will be available on October 28th. The city of brotherly love is rejoicing as the Philadelphia Phillies are back in the World Series for the first time in 13 years. The The Phillies defeated the San Diego Padres 4-1 to take the National League Championship Series. The Phils will face the Houston Astros. Been saying that name a lot in World Series conversations. Philadelphia was the final wildcard team to make the playoffs with a regular season record, just besting my Milwaukee Brewers at 87-75 for a record on the year. We have got some birthdays to celebrate this Monday morning.
That's right. Happy 8th birthday to Ella. Ella is smart, kind, and loves gymnastics.
Happy birthday to Jude this morning, who is turning 8. He loves to play soccer, draw, and create things with his Legos.
Happy 8th birthday to Miranda. She loves to play soccer with her big sister and taking care of animals.
Happy 8th birthday this morning to Amari. She loves all animals and wants to be a veterinarian when she grows up.
Very cool. And if you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80 years old, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, let us know. You're going to upload their photo right to our website. Just look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab at news8000.com. We hope you can stay with us. We've got everything you need to know this morning in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next. Your Morning News Now on this Monday. Music to your ears. UW La Crosse's Screaming Eagles Marching Band celebrated the past, present, and future over the weekend at the 10th Annual High School Band Day. Over 300 high school musicians from 11 local high schools got together to perform. Plus, the UWL Alumni Band joined in on the musical fun. Organizers say having the Alumni Band perform will encourage students to pursue music well after they graduate.
Music is a lifelong endeavor, and I think it's great that our alumni band's here today too, so the students can see that they can keep music in their life forever. There's not a time limit.
That is so true. The band's played plenty of hits, including the track list of songs that they played were by Ariana Grande, Nicki Minaj, and Korean pop band BTS. Area Crafters United are at Logan High School for a 33rd annual Logan High School Fall Craft Show. Over 150 vendors showed up with handmade jewelry, clothes, and even handmade spices. This craft show focuses on helping small artists from the region get a head start. According to students, it can also boost these artists' confidence.
I think one of the most important things is it kind of shows people that you can follow your passions. Like, it shows the students that there are things that you can do with art, and there are things that you can continue your lives with, and also just allow students to be more connected to the community they're in.
Proceeds from the craft show will help fund college scholarships for Logan students after they graduate.
As we take you into the Skycast here, you can see things are looking pretty cloudy throughout the morning. Temperatures in those upper 60s, low 70s. Good chance of rain, though, here, especially later this afternoon. Highs around 74.
We are just a week away from Halloween, and all kinds of events are well underway. La Crosse families got to trunk or treat at the Harry J. Olson Center over the weekend. Kids went from classic car to classic car to get candy. Those cars mostly came from the Driftless region, modified car group. Kids also got the chance to meet the Miss Midwest USA ambassador for 2022. Jessie Liasso says their trunk or treat event is a little different.
What makes our trunk and treat different is that we have awesome cars that are just tripped out, older vehicles, things like that.
It was thriller night for a group of La Crescent dancers. Dancers of all experience levels and backgrounds got a special chance to dress up as zombies while dancing to a classic 80s tune, Thriller by Michael Jackson. After weeks of practice, the La Crescent community got the chance to enjoy their performance on Sunday. And according to organizer Megan Waddell, it's all about having fun and sharing an art. Now, the city of La Crosse wants your help to make yard cleanup a breeze. Leaf collection in the city of La Crosse begins today and runs until November 18th. And all you need to do is put leaves on the boulevard, but not in the street. Teams will be working across the city to collect all of those leaves. The teams also ask that you do not pile leaves around trees, poles, or parked cars. Leaf collection will not interfere with your garbage or recycling.
And as you head out the door this morning, temperatures are in the upper 60s under those cloudy skies. Rain showers start as early as noon, becoming heavier here later in the day. Highs around 74 and south winds breezy at 15 to 25 miles an hour.
Well, don't forget to keep up with the news of the day at news8000.com, and we'll have the latest coming up this afternoon on News 8 Now at noon. CBS Mornings follows us here. Thank you for watching and have a great day.